Hey everyone, it's me, it's B-R-E-N-T. I'm Brent, your content creator for the YouTube channel PathandTarot, as well as the blog of the same name. So here we are in this video, we're going to be doing a reading with playing cards. And we're going to be doing a check-in into the universe, see how it's doing. If you've been keeping up with the news today, March 11th, 2020, the World Health Organization has issued a state of a pandemic due to the coronavirus. So we're in sort of a troubled time right now. And I thought a little bit about this because a few days ago I had done a reading with the Wisdom of the Oracle, which is an oracle deck by Colette, Baron-Reid. I've been using her cards on Instagram, and it gave me an interesting reading recently that sort of suggested that there's a lot of change happening. There's going to be something big on its way, but I don't know what that was. It was a few days ago, and so this news message kind of got me thinking, maybe that's what the cards were hinting at. And it got me thinking too, maybe we should inquire with a different device, playing cards. I want to do more content with the playing cards, and this is sort of an opportunity to do that with you on camera, but also to inquire deeper into something that I think is important right now. You know, the issuing a state of pandemic, it can cause a lot of concern, and so I hope that by trying to inquire into the universal flow of energy, I want to call it up, and you know, just like a best friend would call you and say, you know, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? You know, because I'm sure family members are calling each other around the world if people are in different locations, saying, you know, hey, is everything okay? Like, do you feel all right? How's your food? How's your toilet paper supplies? You know, that sort of thing, right? That's how I want to interact with the universe right now, through these cards, and maybe the universe will respond warmly and say, hey, you know, I am okay. Things are going to be just fine, and maybe this will be something to help us all kind of get through this troubling time. So I've got the playing cards here. I've got dominoes with me as well, just in case we need to go a little bit further. I can shake them up. Yeah, they're ready to go. Just in case we need to go further, deeper in a different way. And I've also got Raymond Buckland's domino book as well too, to help us decode anything in particular that we need to. I've got my resources here on the other side that you can't see because it's off camera. And this is camera magic, because that's how it works. So I've got the cards here. Let's do the housekeeping first before we get into it. Just, you know, so I can keep the transparency active. A lot of the resources that I use will be in the description below as Amazon associate links. The camera, this shelf liner duck brand, the dominoes, the book. All that will be in the description through the Amazon Associates links. I think as informational purposes, so that you can see the resources that went into this video, including, you know, the camera, the stand, and all that stuff. You know, if you choose to investigate that and purchase the product, that helps this channel grow, because we get commission from that. So I want to say that to you, the viewer, to remain transparent and open and honest, because I think that's important. But really, like I said, I'm treating those links as just sort of information to show you what has gone into the video. And there'll also be some more informational links too. There'll be an article about the meaning of playing cards, how to perform the spread that we're about to perform as well. So this will be a lot of other resources to take you further if you choose to go that way. So that pretty much covers the gist of the housekeeping. So we'll get into the reading here right now. I've got the cards. This deck is actually making its very first appearance on camera. I've got other decks just like this, but this one in particular I keep close to me, so I feel it's more spiritually charged. And I was talking with it before being on camera. I was kind of asking, hey, are you ready to go on camera? are you gonna be okay? It seemed that the deck feels a little concerned, but that's just stage fright. Who would have thought a deck could speak like that? But I think it's gonna be okay. Stage fright is common for all performers, including inanimate objects like playing cards. So there you have it. It does have, like I said, I feel like it has a spiritual charge because I do keep it close, and it's definitely ready to speak. So here we go. Let's do this. I'm going to shuffle the cards with you on camera. I've already shuffled these, by the way, before taking them on camera. But we're gonna do more shuffling just to make sure that it is in a completely random order, and then that way we can spend time on camera, just a few minutes, kind of putting our intention into the cards. Think about these cards. Put your thoughts into them, because we're gonna call up the universe like we would call a family member or a best friend and ask, are you okay? How are you feeling? That's what I wanna be asking the universe here. How is it going? We're on this big rock traveling through space with a whole bunch of people on it and a whole bunch of cool wildlife and biology. How's it going? Like, are we on the right track? Like, what is this? There we go. It feels like we're getting some energy into this. Put all your intention. Think. Focus. This will help the reading. We're going to be opening the Devil's Triangle, which is a spread that will open up like a triangle and try and help us understand what the message is, starting from one point and opening up to 4 cards. So you'll see in a second how this all works out. And again, you can go to the article. As you watch the video too, you can just open up in a new window and you can read about it. Or pause the video if you want and watch that and then watch this. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. But with this reading, there's a game that goes with it that's called Beat the Devil. Coincidentally, of course, I borrowed or appropriated that name and it's put into that playing card spread, opening the Devil's Triangle. So we're going to play a game with it to see if we win or lose, and that can kind of give us a hint on maybe the state of our question. How are you doing, universe? Is everything going to be okay? Because today has a weird energy. It's I don't know how to describe it. It feels like, maybe this is a point in history to look back on, that things are changing. There's no toilet paper anywhere right now in Vancouver, BC, especially in the rest of the world. I don't know what that means, but who knows. So we did a wash. That felt pretty good. I think that captured a lot of energy. And then I'm just going to riffle shuffle this a few times. More than 7 I feel would be good. 7 riffles usually puts a 52 card playing deck into random order. There's a few videos that can teach you about that, because it's really math and statistics. I'm not the best with math and numbers, more of a symbols guy, I guess you could say. But 7 riffles will do the trick. More than that is good, because it puts the cards into a true set of random order. So I've kind of lost track because I'm talking, but that feels pretty good. I'm going to do 2 more just in case, and then I'm going to do a few overhands to finish it off. Okay, so there we go. Overhand, and then overhand. Alright. So I'm going to be drawing 1 card here. Oh, sorry, I gotta have to look at the camera. About here, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, going upwards to form the triangle. And as you can just see, it expands outwards so that it can basically reveal more of the question to us. as we're making our inquiry. So there you go. I'll start there. So 7. And so our next card, 10, Jack. So we're looking for pairs. That's how this works. We don't have any pairs yet, so I'm going to draw a card here. So there we go. There's our first pair. Draw that. No more pairs. Keep going. What's that? Yep. Okay. And so now we're going to be. Oh, I'm going to move the cards down a little bit, just so that we can get enough space this way. Okay, so we gotta keep drawing. So we got 3 more spots basically to go. So if we win, that kind of gives us a clue, a positive element to the reading as we interpret the cards. So we've got our pair here, the 2 jacks, which we'll cover. And so this is interesting because as you work through the whole deck, and you sort of get to control the flow of how the cards are placed, but in the end you still don't really have too much control as what is the end result. So it's a very interesting test of randomness, I guess maybe a little intuition, because you get to choose how the pairs get covered. So we got those aces. Sorry if I speak through this reading. I guess I just want to inform you. If this is the first time you're seeing this, then I want to be able to guide you through this so that you kind of know what's happening. So 7, we don't have any pairs right now, so we're going to draw another card into the open slot here. So you can probably already see how this is going to end up. You're going to have 2 more cards right here. So 7... Nope, no more pairs, so we got 1 more card here, and so our final card's going to end up right here, and it looks like, yeah, so I have a feeling we're not going to win this round. 3, 4, 5, 7, yeah, so, alright, hold your breath. 5, okay. So the 5, we've got the 2 5s there, so that's good. We've got at least 1 pair to work with. And yeah, ooh, let's see how this goes. 3, okay, so there we go. So we got 3s and kings. So this is what I find interesting, is we get to choose which we're going to cover. I can cover the 3 or the king. It's really up to the person who's doing the reading. So that's what I find fascinating about the chance elements in this, and as well as just your own intuition, your personal control, your intention as well too. So I'm gonna cover the 3s. I don't know why. 7s. Okay, so we got 7s. Let's cover the 7s. The kings represent men. The queens represent a woman, and the jacks they typically represent a young man. But for the purpose of being able to capture a lot of information, they can also represent just young, inexperienced people of either male or female too. Jacks, this jack in particular has a mustache, but other jacks don't have a mustache, so that can work either way maybe. Okay, so where are we at now? 6, 9. Okay, so we got 9s. Let's cover the 9s. 4s now. Let's cover the 4s. Let's cover the kings. I think there's not many. I don't think people have anything to do with this reading at this point in time. They may. I don't know, but it feels like that's how it's going. There's or maybe the kings will end up, more kings, or maybe a couple queens will end up in the end. Who knows? 6s, 4s. What do we have? 2s. We've got 6s. 2. Let's cover the 6s. That gives us 2 8s, 2 queens. Okay, so I don't know. Let's cover the 2s. Yeah, it's the 2. Okay, so the jacks. I think I'm going to cover the jacks just because I want to get something. Actually, no, I'm not really sure what we're going to get, so I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I got the 8s, 3 8s. So that's cool. We got a triple. You know what? Let's pull out a domino, just because triple 8s is kind of a sign. So let's do that. Actually, you can't see it, but I'm closing my eyes so that I can't look at the domino. So I've got this. Here we go. So here's the dominoes. So that's for the 888. Let's do that. Okay. Right, so there's another king there. So I got 5s, we got 7s. Let's cover the 6s. 2s, 3s. So let's cover our 7s now. Alright, so we got 3 more queens, so I think that's all the queens. So let's grab another domino, closing my eyes. Let's see what I can, there we go. I'm going to cover the queens. 2 10s. What else we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I guess just the 2 10s are left. 2 kings. So okay, so I think that's all our kings. I think we covered their kings. 9s, 4s. So we've got. I think we're done. So I got 4 cards left. And I've got 2 4s and 2 9s. So that pretty much does it. If you get to a point in the reading, just for your information, if this is the first time you're seeing this, if you've done really well in the game part of it, and you have still more spaces to fill, in this case we don't, but if you did, you just kind of want to save a few cards and make sure you fill up the space before you cover the pairs. So that's just kind of one thing that you would have had to do. Alright, so we'll get on with it. So let's cover the 4s and the 9s. Oh boy. So there we have it, our reading. So we've got 3 of diamonds, 5 of spades, 5 of hearts, ace of spades, 8 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, ace of clubs, 3 of spades, 2 of clubs. Maybe I'll try and zoom in a bit on this. No, I think you can see everything right there. I'm actually looking at the preview to see if you can see it. Yeah, that looks good. And we've got our 2 dominoes here to reveal to us something more. So I'm just gonna flip them up this way so that we can see that. All right, let's work with these cards. I'm sort of concerned about the ace of spades because it's the most negative card in the playing card meaning set. The meaning of the playing cards. The ace of spades is kind of like the death card if you were to compare it to, say, Terra. So, okay, all right. So the first row, or the first column, I guess you could say, is kind of like it represents the problem. Like this is what the concern is. The next column is sort of devising a solution to what we're inquiring about. This column is carrying out the plan, and then this 4th column is basically looking back. It's sort of like, okay, well, this is what we've done. This is sort of like the resolution, like the conclusion of all of what we've known from this. So if we were to then close the Devil's Triangle, we would start with 4 cards and go back this way. But we're only going to be doing opening the Devil's Triangle. And we may wait a little bit and see how things develop and close it and see if that tells us something. So keep an eye out for maybe a new video very soon. But let's read the cards. So now you kind of know how the cards are going to be read. It's almost just intuitive and very logical in a way. You build up to more information from one point. So let's work with it. So I've got my cheat sheet here to make it a little bit easier. So 3 of diamonds, money negation, avoid group animosity, tactful monetary boundaries. So that's kind of interesting. So we know the state of a pandemic right now. We're asking about the universe and how it's doing. It sort of feels like we want to be setting up boundaries with our money. I've seen a lot in the media talking about investment opportunities right now because of the state of pandemic. I guess a global crisis, I guess you could say. Stocks plummet, investment opportunities change. banks change and things like that. Maybe that Three of Diamonds is talking about that, like a tactful money boundaries feels maybe like a good fit for this card in the context of what we're asking. So I think money is kind of at the heart of this right now. That's what it feels like. You know, I can see a lot of people, if they play their cards right, no pun intended, actually pun intended, sorry, there's definite pun because we're playing cards. If they play their cards right, people can make a lot of money off these global situations. But I don't know, you know, maybe that'll be a part of it. But it feels like we should be in sort of a saving mode, you know, protecting our investments. If people have a lot of money in current investments or stocks or whatever, I mean, I don't know what to suggest because I don't know much about that, but maybe this is sort of a good indicator to go look at that again and just check on it. I mean, I have no advice how or what protocols for that. I mean, just because that's, you know, I don't have that experience, and really fortune telling doesn't really concern money all that much anyways. You know, a good code of ethics is to never read concerning legal matters and all that. So, but I think in this case, because of what we're asking and what the Three of Diamonds means, it could have something to do with that. And so let's move on to the fives. This is cool. We've got two fives here. So I think there feels like there's an interesting connection there. Five of Hearts is an emotional crossroads, potential disturbance with that, and the Five of Spades is temporary resistance, inner strength almost, sort of a rediscovering an inner strength. So this is interesting. Maybe what we're sort of getting at this stage is this event will be able to teach us how to cultivate an inner strength for ourselves and have people become more independent of themselves as opposed to being dependent on the societal systems we have in place that seem to be at risk due to these global changes. You know, the pandemic, in a way. You know, if our governments can't guarantee our safety, maybe this is an opportunity that teaches everyone in the world to, I guess, fend for themselves in a way, or become more of a group, you know, become more locally connected. People that are right next door to you, you know, your friends and family, you know, people banding together in a very literal sense. Because what's interesting is the spades, I mean, just look at the symbols. The spade is an upside down heart in a way. So it feels like there's something strong happening right there. So Five of Hearts, emotional crossroads, Five of Spades, a discovery of inner strength. So we're definitely at a crossroads right now. And I feel in human history just in itself, so much has changed within the last 10 years, really. Technology, economics, all this, world politics, it's been crazy. So that represents devising a plan. So that kind of makes sense. So the Ace of Spades, so we already talked about that. Misfortune, end of a cycle. So this is carrying out the plan. So as much as I feel negative about the Ace of Spades, it kind of makes sense in the context of what we're talking about, you know, when it comes to the global pandemic and, you know, what's happening. This is a very clear end of a cycle or an end of an era. You know, I've been feeling for a few years that, you know, the internet and what people are doing with it, how we're connecting, is sort of kind of climaxed in a way. I don't know how we can proceed next. It's sort of got to a, you know, just like a high water mark, right? You know, if you consider all the online you know, business opportunities, the influencers, the gurus, all that stuff, it seems like it's just been there's such a dilution of those things now that everyone's talking about all that stuff. Online hustling, all this, you know, the public speakers, the motivational speakers, I guess you could say. It feels like all that's coming to a close, ending of a cycle. But that may not directly mean that specifically. Maybe it could just be meaning that, you know, we're reaching another point in human history that it's going to be a definite end to what we've all come to know as a normal state of the world. Considering climate change, all the economic change happening, you know, the Earth is getting warmer. You know, probably due to, I mean, I don't know specifically, but you know, our effects and probably just larger cycles of what the Earth is. That feels like it has something to do with it. You know, the Earth has its own set of cycles that are far grander than what the human capacity can really comprehend. You know, the Earth, if you think about the age, it's far older than anything that we can perceive. So maybe that has something to do with it too. That feels like it's on the right path. So let's, 8 of Diamonds. Okay, so new opportunity through craftsmanship. Wow, that's crazy. So end of a cycle, and we're going to be seeing that there's new opportunities coming out of that. But from what angle, I don't know. It's hard to say. But that would make perfect sense, you know, renewal. It's almost like these two cards are really meant to be beside each other. And I'm not surprised because there's such a strong connection here that I think once we start to get to this point, there's going to be a lot more sense being made. So, whoops, I hit the camera. Okay, yeah, we're good. Sorry. Okay, so 2 of Diamonds. The Juggler of Opportunity, Synchronization, Positive Direction. So that's crazy. So, you know, the Death card, new opportunity through craftsmanship, and synchronization, positive direction. You know, maybe what's happening right now is what's supposed to happen. And the funny thing is that's the sort of message I got from the Wisdom of the Oracle cards that kind of predicted the, I guess, you know, what I'm feeling right now, the sense of change. The impression I got is, you know, we're on the right track. We're going to be okay. But change is definitely happening. We're going to go through something pretty big. I just don't know what. But that's what the 2 of Hearts says. So that this column seems to make a lot of sense. You know. Let's go to the Queen. So Queen of Diamonds. So this represents a charismatic woman, a rich woman entering someone's life. But in the case of the world, there's going to be. I guess this is probably bordering, you know, a prediction, but I feel this is pretty powerful. There's going to be a woman entering the general media very soon that's very charismatic and rich, but it feels like that woman is going to be the catalyst for change that kind of puts things on the right track and resolves this whole column. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know who. To be honest, I don't know much about politics and who's who or whatever, but yeah, there's going to be a charismatic female entering this situation very soon in the world. Who knows? Who knows who it's going to be? So what does the Ace of the Ace of Clubs say? Startling wealth or knowledge, new prosperity. So it seems like that woman will be able to offer new prosperity. And look at the connection here. It's right beside the 8 of Diamonds too. Just like we said a moment ago, there's a relationship right here that's very strong. And so there it is. So new opportunities from this mysterious, charismatic woman. Well, maybe not super mysterious, but at least right now it's mysterious because who knows what that means. 3 of Spades, future bad news. Kind of like a third person breaking a union, you know, the third wheel, I guess you could say, like in a date scenario, right? That's what this card means. There's something's going to happen in the future that's not good. But I don't know what that can mean because this column really is kind of showing that we've ended a cycle and we're off in a new direction. But now we're in a direction that still poses more problems Three of Spades, future bad news. So what could that be? Yeah, I don't know. It's a little troubling, but who knows? Two of clubs. Difficulties, conflict with another person, like a loss of friendship. So, yeah, this is, I don't know. Something about these two cards is kind of startling. So we're kind of left with a suggestion that there's going to be more bad news in the future, and that there's going to be a break of friendship because of it. I don't know what that is. I guess we'll have to do another reading. But we have our dominoes still to clarify that. So let's maybe put the dominoes here and see what we can clarify from the dominoes. Maybe, you know, I don't know what that could be. Maybe there'll be a geopolitical situation or something. You know, we know that the viruses originated from China. Maybe there's something to do with that, potentially. I don't know. Let's get into it. So I've got the Buckland Book of Dominoes, so that we can get some exact information about these dominoes. 3-6. So 3-6 is the key word is valor. It's dealing with intelligence, mathematical ability. Beware of vice and corruption. Oh, that is very interesting. Vice and corruption. So we've got a 3 and a 3. Future bad news. So I think the future bad news is really going to be due to, well, here you can see the domino. So there you see it. Some sort of corruption will happen. Vice. Vice and corruption. Yeah, okay. Vice is an interesting word. Let's just look it up real quick, because I know what it means, but let's just look that up on a dictionary while we're on camera here, so you can kind of know more about that word. But you probably heard the word before, vice. You know, Miami Vice, that kind of stuff. But it's a cool word, because if you look like the exact definition of vice is a moral depravity or corruption, a moral fault. Sometimes people refer to vices as things that they shouldn't do, or pleasures they shouldn't do. You know, taking part in recreational stimulants and things like that. You can consider that a vice. That's why they call vice cops. Hence Miami Vice. So corruption. Okay, so. Yeah, that's very interesting. 5-3. Balance, fairness, harmony, and equality, rights. Okay, so I think this domino is really sort of our savior of this whole situation, because really it's saying that there's going to be a balance that ends up happening. The Two of Clubs, the difficulty, the conflict with this other entity that we don't know what. Maybe a country's, because we're really asking at the grand scope of the whole world. Maybe that will be maybe there needs to be a disagreement to create this balance and harmony that we'll eventually achieve. Because we do have a lot of positive cards, at least from this kind of part of the reading, especially up in here. But we've got these two troubled cards that seem to have a resolution up at this point. And balance, harmony. Well, that's not too bad of a reading. Let's kind of recap that. 3 of Diamonds. Tactful money boundaries, being wary of the economic state of maybe you as an individual, or the country itself, or the countries as a whole. There's a lot of worry about that. So we've got our 5s. 5 of Hearts, like an emotional crossroads. 5 of Spades, like a discovery of inner strength. So I think we're going to be taught a lot from our position of, you know, securing our own finances, being financially stable as countries or as a world. We're going to have something has to be recycled, has to end, be renewed, so that we can have our 8 of Diamonds, which is new opportunities through craftsmanship, through hard work. We'll have to recraft probably what the world is very soon, and we'll benefit from that. The 2 of Diamonds suggests that we'll have a synchronization. We'll have a positive direction that we're headed into, and somehow there'll be a strong, charismatic female figure that enters this world that, you know, is going to be somehow connected to all this positive change, because it's right near the Ace of Clubs that represents startling wealth or knowledge, new prosperity, really. And then we've got our 2 questionable cards, the three of Spades, future bad news, and then our dominoes that we're asking a little bit more sort of point to corruption a little bit. But our next set of dominoes kind of represents balance. Things are going to be okay, I think. The 2 of Clubs suggests that there'll be difficulties with another entity. There'll be a change in friendship, a loss in friendship, but I think it'll come to a balance in the end. So there it is. That felt pretty good. It felt like we have some information. I feel like there's clarity in this. It feels pretty good. I'm not really sure what's really going to happen. Like, we've got our negative cards here. I hope that whatever happens as this dramatic change puts us in a good direction, and I think it will. Due to that. So yeah, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and I think the world has responded with warmth, just kind of as I thought it would. You know, thanks for calling. It's good to hear from you. I'm gonna be okay. Think things are gonna be okay, but I want to do another reading very soon, maybe in a few days, and close the Devil's Triangle, kind of go this way. I don't know if you can see that because I've got this in the center of the camera, but we would just reverse the order of the spread, start with 4 cards up this way and work down to a point so that we can maybe we'll get some closure with the next few days, and we'll see how the news develops, and we'll see how things go. But we'll let this kind of be out there for everyone to see, for everyone to experience, for the universe to reabsorb, and we'll see how things happen in the news. So there it is. That's going to do it for today. So thank you for watching this. Subscribe to the channel. The content will be sort of sporadic for this year, but there is a plan for lots more content. So that's why you should subscribe, because the schedule may not be definite, so hit the bell thing too so that you can be reminded. And if you want, you can sign up on to the email list on the website too. There's a spot for that on the side widget bar at the bottom of the page. And just put your email in there, and I email periodically with article updates and things like this, with new videos and whatnot. So that would be definitely worth your time investing into that as well. So that's it. Again, thank you for investing your time into this. I think we're going to be okay. So thanks.